In this episode, we're going to turn this 59 class into a good runner. This locomotive has been a bad runner ever since I've owned it. This is a New South Wales 59 class, either a Bergs or a classic brass model, and the problem that these old locos have is a lack of pickups. Now on this particular loco, this side here, if we run the continuity tester, are all connected. This side over here are not connected, so the pickups for this locomotive currently is for this side of the locomotive gets all of its pickup for the negative side on this side, and on the positive side comes from the tender, and the tender is has a different polarity to this side of the locomotive. This loco's had DCC fitted, and someone in the past has soldered a red wire here onto the tender coupling with a piece of spring, and it then connects through to this pin here. As you can see here, this little pin here, the locomotive just sits up, connects on just like that, up through that pin there, like that. Now what we're finding with this locomotive is that it is an erratic runner, and today we're going to apply some No-Ox ID. Now this is a product I brought in from America. It's called No-Ox ID, a special. Now when I open it up, you can see I've used a little bit of it, but it's what's called a conductive grease. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit on that pole like this. I'll just get a little bit here, and I'm just going to apply that on the pole here of the tender, and the idea of that is to increase the conductivity, because what I'm finding is with this loco, as it goes around, as this pin moves up and down on this pin, so as this drawbar moves up and down, it loses its connectivity, so therefore it stops and starts and gets a few short circuits around. Now I'm going to try this as an experiment, and we'll see how we go, and we'll give it a run in a minute. So I've just conducted another little test, and it was a little bit better, but I'm also finding that we're getting these random shorts. Now I think I might have pinned it down to these brake shoes. Now this side is live, and the chassis is live on this side of the loco. So this side of the loco should be insulated from this side. But as you can see, there's brake shoes that go across here. Now strangely enough, on this loco, these brake shoes are adjustable. Now I can put my screwdriver in here and I can pry them backwards and forwards. But what I'm finding is that when the trailing pony truck goes around curves, it actually pushes these two brake shoes actually hard up against the wheels, and actually starts to make the running deteriorate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to notch this out here a little bit on both sides with the Dremel, so that when it goes around curves, it doesn't actually push these brake shoes onto the wheels. So we've now, using the bird tool, we've taken some material off both sides. We can see now that it can turn quite well without interfering with these two brake shoes. So we'll put it back on the layout now, and we'll see how it runs. So all that remains now is that this part of the pony truck is now brass, all we need to do now is give this a light coat of black. I'm using this engine black, flat black from Model Masters. Whoops, I'm a bit close to the camera there. Model Masters. I'm just going to give this a quick stir. Always stir your paint, because if you don't stir your paint, you don't stir up all the pigments, and it's the pigments that give the paint the body and the ability to work with the rest of the chemicals in the paint to make sure that it sticks okay. So we're just going to give this a little light coat of paint now, because it won't need much. So this is just called engine black. So you'll see here, we'll just give it we'll give it a little touch up here now, so you can see here. Just give this a little coat of black like that. That's really all it needs. Now you don't have to be overly perfect with it, because I'll touch this up with a little bit of weathering later on. So we do that side, and then we turn the loco. We'll just wait for that to dry. So you can see we've turned the loco over. We're just going to give this now a little bit of a touch. Really, that's all it needs, just a little bit of paint, and there it is, all touched up and back to original. Now, as the motorbike goes past, just blend that a little bit there into the pony truck as well, which I've done on the other side as well. So that'll dry. I mean, you could undercoat it and muck around with it, but in reality on this old brass logo, you don't really have to bother. So hope you've enjoyed this video, and you'll see it coming up shortly, running around the layout.